Archive Footage, solid support for that. Some bookmakers were calling 10 to 1 the field a few moments ago. It's now into 7 to 1 Archive Footage with 11 to 1 bar between Mother's Easter Ross out to 11 along with Herbert Jr. 12 to 1 Generosa. There are quite a few bookmakers are calling only 11 to 1 against it. 14 Master Pilgrim and Darapur. Gatflax, big mover, 33 to 1 this morning. Now top price 100 to 7, 14 to 1. And good support for Kate Charm too. 20 to 1 this morning into 14 to 1 here. 16 to 1 bar. But Archive Footage clear favourite at 7 and 100 to 9. 11 to 1. Bar the 1.
So a really good-looking field. It's certainly weather to judge horses. Nearly all their coats look well. We gave it to Andy Turnell's runner Gatflax in the end. On the course, Fidalco impressed. Fish and Joanna didn't particularly. Very strong money for Archive Footage, Gatflax and Kate's Charm in a strong betting heat, and negative for Ferbert Jr. and yesterday's winner Generosa. So just a 30 here, Gigi.
Indeed, Jim, just the 30. Johnny Scott waiting for the last few seconds to tick away for this, the Coral Cup, the Showcase Handicap, and it's the most valuable handicap hurdle ever run at Cheltenham. 65 grand to the winner in sorted forms.
Get those heads back.
Generosa just taking a turn at the back. A little bit slow to go, that Generosa, but came from a long way off the pace as they settle off down towards the first of 10 flights of hurdles, and smartly into a lead for Fidalco the inside and really set that one alight. Generosa sit to the back, they're all safely over the first. They head quickly down towards the second, and Ferbert Jr. is the grey on the inside. That one shares it with Rainwatch as they come quickly to the second, and then in a close position is on the outside Rainbow Frontier. Not that far away is Blue Donix, a faller at the rear of the field, and unfortunately Easter Ross is out of the race. Easter Ross, a faller at the second. Horse and jockey appear to be okay. Mick Fitzgerald gets to his feet as they begin the turn towards flight number 3, and a long run to it as well. It's Ferbert Jr. on the inside of Rainwatch, who still sit 1 and 2. A gap of 2 or 3 lengths then to up on the outside, Far Less Hassle going into third, with through on the inside Rainbow Frontier. Then just in behind these comes Fidalco. Generosa still sits towards the back in a midfield position allocation. Kate's Charm is midfield as well and spinning a bit wide on the run down towards flight 3. Ferbert Jr. on the inside, the bold front-running attack here. 2 in second place, Rainwatch. Then Far Less Hassle showing in third. A Snow Dragon in pale jacket comes through for a share of 4, with up on the outside Fish and Jewella, who is very reluctant about going down to the start. Better Offer sits on the inside going the shortest way, and after these comes Khayrawani, Polar Prospect. Challenger to Look is down the field, and Generosa still sits last. Also Don Beltrano well down the field. King's Mark, Supreme Lady. Gatflax is down the field as well. Archive Footage, Martin Pipe had 6 in the race, but Tony McCoy has gone for Archive Footage, and that's about 5 from the end as they jump flight number 4, over which it was Ferbert Jr. that led. To up on the outside, Far Less Hassle, Rainwatch the inside, then Gatflax getting closer now. That goes into a closing 4. Fishing Joella in 5, and after that one comes Fidalco with Snow Dragon and Rainbow Frontier tracking. Castle Sweep and Allegation followed these, and then behind these comes Don Beltrano with on the inside Robbo, Khayrawani, De Raydan and Darapur in a midfield position. And at this stage Generosa, Supreme Lady, Farfaday and Archive Footage are the back 4, and they spin away then from the pack stands and race down out into the country, and they're being taken there by the leader Ferbert Jr., who's led throughout.
Yes, an Archive Footage right off the bridle passing the stands. Looks to have a big task from where he is. Ferbert Jr. on the inside as they head down the back straight. Gatflax is in a very good position. Far Less Hassle on the outside. Fish and Joella with the leaders as well, with Fidalco. And then Snow Dragon, Kate's Charm, and Blue Donix, who's been travelling well all the way, just poking into the picture. In about 8th or 9th place, a grey horse as they continue down the back straight, getting mighty competitive up front. And on the inside, Ferbert Jr. with Fidalco, Fish and Joella and Far Less Hassle. Then Gatflax over the next from Snow Dragon, Kate's Charm, Blue Donix. And then Snow Dragon just in behind these, or rather Don Beltrano and Master Pilgrim. Polar Prospect towards the inside, then with Milton Field also improving, and Castle Sweep towards the outside. Tight up front, it's Fidalco in the noseband on the outside of Ferbert Jr. And then in behind them, Fishing Joella, Blue Donix running a big race and a great big jump there on the outside as they stream over the flight, going up the top of the hill. Bakar is towards the rear as they continue to climb then all the way. And up front, it's Ferbert Jr. on the inside of Blue Donix. And then behind these, Fishing Joella. Fidalco right up with them as well as they now reach the top of the hill. Fidalco, Blue Donix clear of Fishing Joella, then Kate's Charm, and then behind these, Snow Dragon and Castle Sweep.
But look at this, Generosa won the race yesterday. Look on the extreme left, the yellow colours with the black sash is Generosa. A £7 penalty is coming into the race. Also with a run is Milton Field. Through on the inside is Fishing Joella. Also with a bit of a run now is Darapur of White Cap. The tail end charters include Aragapi Mu, but they come down towards the second last. And it's Snow Dragon and Blue Donix of Fishing Joella and Fidalco. Then behind these comes Darapur, with up on the outside Generosa trying to nose into the argument once again. And not more than a length off the pace. It's Blue Donix under Adrian Maguire getting a reminder now. But Snow Dragon for Paul Carberry on the outside. Also Milton Field and through on the inner Fidalco. It's a wave of 4 as they head for home. Generosa still swinging along nicely on the outside for a 2 from 2. And there are 6 in line as they come to take the last, but from nowhere, Khayrawani in the red and white cap has come through to take it up from Milton Field in second. Generosa under a strong drive, and there's Fishing Joella. Oh boy, this is one for the Irish. It's Khayrawani in the lead to Milton Field and Generosa, who's plucking on very gamely there. And Khayrawani is all out to hold on. That's the line. It's a photo. Khayrawani and then Milton Field for second. Then back in third place came Generosa. A big break to a tight 4, and that's one for the judge with Fishing Joella and Fidalco, and also in a photo for fourth place with Darapur. And these are well clear of the winning line horse, which was Master Pilgrim, who eventually beat the rest, including Castle Sweep and Robbo and Polar Prospect and Aragapi Mu and Gadaflax and Ferbert Jr. Archive Footage and Rainbow Frontier. And the last horse to pass the post was in fact Katie's Charm. And so the result of this, the Coral Cup looks to have gone to number 4, Khayrawani, in the colours of J.P. McManus, the red and white diamond cap, just nosing into the lead there. But for second place, Milton Field for the Irish and Conroy Dwyer. Third place goes to Generosa under a £7 penalty, the mare. What a terrific run she's had for Tommy Tracy. Irish 1, 2 and 3, and the young face there of Francis Berry successful in the Coral Cup. And it's a close call for fourth place, but no doubt about it, for my money, it's going to be Khayrawani's race. But no doubt about it, the Irish successful. And it's a close call for fourth place, probably with the white cap. Darapur is there on the top of the picture. Fishing Joella is behind that, and after that one comes Fidalco. And they're 4, 5 and 6 in this Coral Cup, a showcase race, and the most valuable handicap hurdle ever run at Cheltenham has surely gone to number 4, but the judge has called a photo to the outcome.
Khayrawani looks to have won the races, returned at 16 to 1 against Khayrawani. The second is Milton Field, is 33 to 1, double carpet Milton Field. The third, Generosa, 12 to 1 under the penalty. And it looks to be fourth, Darapur, sent off at 14 to 1. They backed that archive footage down and returned it at 13 to 2 favourite, that archive footage in a one-horse betting heat as far as many bookmakers were concerned. That was the one horse that they laid quite heavily, that archive footage. But Darapur, who was a top price this morning, a 16 to 1 chance, second in this race to Top Seas last year, goes one better today at 16 to 1, Khayrawani.
Well, 5 out of the first 6 home Irish trained. The English runners have been marmalised. And John, at the last, this horse went a couple of lengths up, but he's always been a little bit of a tricky character. And it was a question of whether he could hang on up the hill.
Well, he's given him a peach of a ride because he brought him into the race from way off the pace. And Christy Roach, good training performance to bring him back to win here. He's gone up an awful lot in the weights, but you could see just how well he was going the way he's pinged the last there. And Milton Field just come into challenge, just out of the picture. The mare Generosa, who won the last race here yesterday, miles behind in the early stages, brought into the race. came there with every chance, and the three of them provided us with a ding-dong battle over the last 150 yards. But he's a fine-looking horse, this Khayrawani. Just comes right this time of year. He went on to win at Aintree after he finished runner-up here last season. And thoughts of Joe Mack for Christy Roach probably long forgotten now.
Well, loath to raise the subject to the whip when they're going to finish like that, but I think the stewards just might look at Francis Berry's use of the whip in the closing stages. His horse has run on really well, but it does look slightly against the prescribed rules. We shall see. That's just my view. Generosa, what an effort. Less than 24 hours after running 3 miles too.
So, same colours as Isterback yesterday. This horse had to work an awful lot harder. Probably got 8 or 9 in front of him as they just headed down the hill. And Paul Nicholls' horses, you can tell how well they're running. Fidelco, who struggled to find his form all season, always up there in the first 2 or 3, certainly for the last mile and a half. Just tracking Blue Donit's, Adrian Maguire, the grey. And they're just beginning to challenge. Oh, Darapur doesn't get the best of runs. He gets bumped a little bit. You'll just see Khayrawani has won, for those of you who were in doubt. And as I say, Darapur didn't get done any favours, but just have a look at the way this mare's travelling on the outside. You've got to think to yourself, well, maybe if he just sat for a little bit longer and come round the inside. But anyway, that's all history, because the way this horse, he just packed for half a stride there, really ran on up the straight. Got a nice way of going, Jim.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got speed, and it's a question of whether he'd hang on. Milton Field, what a great race he's run to. Let's not forget him, the old-timer. John Mulhern's team had a real shout close home, but up the line, Khayrawani just clung on. Francis Berry being preceded in by the 3 horses who finished ahead of him. And this nearly black son of Caerleon. A popular success. Or Cheltenham fixture himself, JP McManus.
One way of getting yourself a little bit of space if you've just worked hard for 2 miles, 5 furlongs. Crowd just making him whip round a couple of times. JP McManus responsible for owning the 4th as well.
Christy Roach, a brilliant flat jockey, very, very successful, and a real sound, shrewd, horse coping person, understands how to get one right.
Khayrawani in this Coral Cup, second 12 months ago, first today, and leading home an Irish clean sweep here. The first 5 horses all trained across the water, and Khayrawani the 3rd Irish winner of this year's festival. At 16 to 1, second Milton Field at 33 to 1, third number 20 Generosa at 12 to 1, and fourth number 25 Darapur at 14 to 1. The totes, the win, a generous £29.90, places 620, 760, 510 and 290. Dual forecast £409.90, and the straight forecast £432.26. Archive footage, the 13 to 2 favourite, 30 rand.